already know, this year's theme is Epiphany, which is a moment of sudden great realization. Now, I had an epiphany about 2 years ago during Ramadan. And I am Muslim myself, and I've been celebrating Ramadan for a while now. But I don't know why, but it only occurred to me 2 years ago why the topic that I'm going to talk about is so important to me. So let me just tell you what Ramadan is, first of all. So it is a very holy month, and it happens during May, June, July. It really depends on the year, and you do fasting, praying, you avoid impure or bad thoughts, and you often donate to people who are more in need. So you fast for about 11 to 16 hours. It really depends on when the sun sets and when the sun rises. So when the sun rises, that's when you start fasting, and when the sun sets, then you break your fast. So when you break your fast, you gather around in your homes or in mosques with your family or friends, and you have a great, very big meal. And when I was having that meal with my family 2 years ago, I just thought about how lucky I was to have all this food in front of me. It's actually very rewarding to fast for all those hours and then have such a nice meal with your family and friends. And I just thought about all of the things that I was blessed with. So Ramadan is a time to count your blessings. It actually is quite easy to count your blessings because your feet is put into the shoes of people who are often less fortunate, and that made me think about all the things that I have. So for example, the food that I have, I'm pretty sure all of us are going to go to some nice dinner or like a restaurant after this event. A lot of people, in contrast, have to find scraps or like animals sometimes just for a little bit of food to keep them energized. And even then, it never is enough. And we all have beds. It might not be the comfiest bed, it might not be that queen king size bed that we want, but we still have one. And we might complain, oh mom, it feels like a rock. I feel like I'm lying down on a rock. Well, best believe there are people that sleep on rocks, and that's what they call their pillow. Oh, okay. We all have a place to live under. We have a shelter. It might be a small house, it might not be a mansion, but there are people that live in houses that look like this. That's what they call their house: straws, sticks, and there's like a little piece of material that covers their top. And you know what? When it rains, their entire bedroom, kitchen, and bathroom, all of it just gets flooded. And that makes me want to talk about world hunger and poverty. Now these are just some statistics. They're not really hard to think about. There's just 1 in 9 people in the world do not have enough food. 66 million children attend classes hungry, and 6 million children die from malnutrition before their 5th birthday. Now I'm looking into this audience, and all of us are above the age of 5. All of us are healthy, attending this event this afternoon. And I don't think you really need to think hard enough to appreciate how lucky you are to be sitting here this afternoon. And this is when I ask myself, am I too blessed? Sometimes I ask myself, I feel quite guilty for everything that I have. And I want to ask you, do you ever feel too guilty? Do you ever feel like you have too much? Feel like you have to give away some time? I mean, I do. Whenever my mum says, Noshin, your drawers won't close because of how much clothes you have, or you have too many things in your room. But then this question struck my mind also when I read this article last year about this man. His name was Ali Banat, and he passed away, unfortunately, last year in May because he was gifted with cancer. Yep, gifted with cancer, that's what he called it. A lot of people, when they find out that they have cancer, they would say, wow, they would beat themselves up about it. They would be angry at God or angry at everyone else around them because they have cancer. But then they would get over it, maybe, I don't know. And then they would go off and travel. They would live their life to the fullest for however long they have. But this man, no, he was different. He went to those countries, yes, but he gave away, okay, this is some backstory on Ali Banat. Basically, he lived a very lavish lifestyle. He was a very successful businessman, and he had all these luxurious things. He had Louis Vuitton, Gucci, he had everything. He had Rolex watches just lined up in his room. So when he found out that he had cancer, he didn't think twice. He went immediately to all these countries, and then he gave away his Rolex watches, he gave away his Louis Vuittons, he gave away his Gucci sunglasses, he gave away everything to these little kids. Best believe there are kids running around in Gucci sunglasses right now. Best believe. Yeah, so he did that little gesture. It was just something little, but it made a huge impact. It inspired everyone around the world. And I'm saying that all of us could do that too. There are so many foundations in Hong Kong. There's Crossroads, Hong Kong AIDS Foundation, there's other ones that support many different things. I personally, I volunteer at Crossroads. Well, I used to a lot. I can't right now because there's so much exams happening. But I used to volunteer every Sunday and Saturday, and I used to donate to them. And I would only volunteer for about 2 to 3 hours. And even that little amount of time that I put into just folding some clothes or putting away some boxes or organizing what clothes should go to what country, that little contribution that I made still made an impact on this world. And I think that all of us can make a contribution. That's what I'm trying to get across here. But what I'm really trying to get across is, before you help someone else, help yourself. So what I want to say is to appreciate everyone and everything around you, because one day those things might be stripped away from you. And all I'm saying is to just appreciate things before they're taken away from you, because once they are, they're gone. You can't go back in time and go like, okay, yeah, I appreciate you now. It's over. So yeah, just when you go home, please just take into account of everything that you have and just appreciate everyone, appreciate everything. And yeah, that's all I have to say. Thank you.